I was surrounded by memories, mess, and more unopened mail than I could count. One morning, I stood frozen, holding a chipped mug from the 80s, whispering to myself, where do I even begin? If you've ever felt that way, overwhelmed, stuck, unsure what to do with the clutter around you, this video is for you. Welcome to Healthy Aging Advice for Elderly, where we turn the stress of getting older into strength, with heart, humor, and a little tough love. If your home feels more like a storage unit than a sanctuary, stay right here. Because I'm about to share 9 simple, powerful steps that will help you clear your space without guilt or exhaustion. These are the exact steps I used to take back my living room, my closet, and honestly, my peace of mind. And that last step? It's a total game changer. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because this right here, this is your fresh start. Step 1. Start with one spot you see every day. Let's be honest, when your house is filled with stuff, starting can feel like trying to eat an elephant with a toothpick. That's why the magic is in starting small. And I mean so small, it almost feels silly. For me, it was the chair. You know, the one. Mine lived in the hallway like a forgotten heirloom from the land of, I'll get to it later. It held everything: coats, old mail, a Christmas card from someone I didn't even like, and a grocery list written in 2017. Every time I walked past it, I avoided eye contact. That chair knew too much. But one morning I snapped. I looked at it and said out loud, you and me, we've got unfinished business. So I set a timer. 10 minutes. Not a second more. No rearranging the garage. No memory lane meltdowns. Just the chair. And piece by piece, I uncovered a miracle. An actual chair. With legs. And a seat. It was like seeing a long-lost friend return from war. I wiped it down, lit a candle nearby, and for the first time in years, that corner felt peaceful. It wasn't just decluttering. It was reclaiming space and sanity. And that tiny win? It gave me momentum. It reminded me that I wasn't buried. I was just paused. All I needed was one little start. So now it's your turn. Pick one spot you see every single day. Kitchen counter? The junk drawer? That mysterious basket on your bedroom floor that's become a black hole for laundry? Just one. 10 minutes. That's it. Now here's the fun part. What do you call it? Let's give your clutter zone a name in the comments. Mount Messmore? The dreaded drop zone? Mine was Chairmageddon. Go ahead, drop the name below. Let's laugh, cry, and clear it out together. Remember, one spot. One small step. One big shift. Step 2. Time box it to avoid burnout. Here's a confession. I used to start cleaning like I was auditioning for a reality show. I'd roll up my sleeves, blast some music, and say, today's the day I fix everything. 3 hours later, I'd be buried in half-sorted clutter, sitting on the floor with a shoebox full of expired coupons and birthday cards from people I barely remembered, crying into a crumpled tissue I found in my own coat pocket. Sound familiar? That's when I learned the power of the 15-minute rule. Now, before I touch a single thing, I set a timer. 15 minutes. That's it. When the timer dings, I stop. No matter what. No guilt, no, just 5 more minutes. I stand up, stretch, and let it be enough. And guess what? It works. Because clutter isn't just physical, it's emotional. It carries memories, regrets, guilt, even grief. And if you try to muscle through it all at once, it will knock you down. But 15 minutes? That's manageable. That's kind. It gives your brain permission to focus just long enough to make progress, but not long enough to spiral into overwhelm. Some days I do just 1 round. Other days I might do 2 or 3 with breaks in between. But I always stop when the timer rings. And here's the beautiful part. Once you prove to yourself that 15 minutes is enough, you'll start trusting your ability to come back again tomorrow. And the next day. And that is what makes the difference. So here's your next gentle nudge. Set a timer. 15 minutes. That's your whole job today. When it dings, you're done. Celebrate. Rest. Breathe. Now tell me, what would 15 minutes of calm feel like for you today? Drop a word or phrase in the comments. Relief? Pride? Finally feeling in control? Let's paint a picture together of what peace can look like. just 15 minutes at a time. Step 3, 3 bins. Yes, no, not yet. Let me tell you about a jacket. It was my late husband's old fishing jacket, olive green, frayed at the sleeves, pockets filled with tiny hooks and bits of string. It smelled like lake water and pipe smoke and love. And for 6 years, it sat in the same spot. Not because I needed it, not because I didn't have time, but because every time I looked at it, I just couldn't. I wasn't ready to let it go, but I also wasn't ready to keep pretending I'd deal with it soon. That's when I created the not yet bin. You've probably heard of the 2-bin system, keep or toss. But life, especially later in life, isn't that black and white. Some things don't fit in neat little piles. Some things need time. So here's the system I use now. Yes, things I need, use, or love. No, things I'm ready to release. And most importantly, not yet the tender things. The still deciding things. The memories I'm not quite ready to untangle. And that's okay. Because decluttering shouldn't feel like emotional surgery. It should feel like a process of coming home. To yourself, to your space, to your present. The not yet bin isn't a failure. It's a kindness. A way to honor your past without rushing your heart. And here's a little trick. Put a date on it. 6 months, maybe a year. Revisit it then, when the memory has softened a little and the decision feels less heavy. You'll be surprised what you're ready for. So when you're sorting today, don't just ask, should I keep this? Ask, can I make peace with this today? If the answer is no, you know where it goes for now. You're not just clearing a house. You're honoring your journey with patience, grace, and maybe even a little smile. What's one item you're not yet ready to decide on? You don't have to name it, but if you feel like sharing, I'm listening. This step isn't about throwing things out. It's about giving yourself permission to be human. Step 4. Make peace with letting go. I was knee-deep in an old closet when I found it, a cardboard box, dusty and dented, tucked behind some winter coats I hadn't worn since Clinton was president. Inside, cassette tapes. Dozens of them. No labels. No cases. Just a jumbled mess of plastic and mystery. I held one up, squinting, trying to guess what forgotten voice or song lived inside. Was it my daughter's choir recital? An old voicemail from my mother? Maybe a mixtape from a love I barely remember. I didn't have a cassette player. Haven't for years. And yet, I sat down and cried. Not because I needed the tapes, but because they reminded me of moments I once swore I'd never forget. But here's the thing, I didn't forget. Even without the tapes, the memories were still there, quiet, tender, tucked into the corners of my heart. And I realized something important that day. Letting go doesn't mean erasing. It means trusting that not everything needs to be carried physically to be carried emotionally. So I laughed. I cried a little more. And then, I let them go. That box was taking up space I didn't need, holding weight I'd already made peace with. If you've ever held on to something because you feared losing the memory, I see you. But I promise, your stories, your love, your people, they live inside you, not in broken plastic or fading paper. Decluttering isn't about tossing your past. It's about making room for your present. So here's your gentle challenge. Hold one item. Breathe. Ask yourself, do I still need this to remember? If the answer is no, maybe it's time. And now, I want to ask you, have you ever let go of something and felt lighter? Was it an object? A letter? A piece of clothing? Tell me in the comments. I want to celebrate that moment with you. Remember, freedom isn't found in what you keep. It's in what you're brave enough to release. Step 5. Clear surfaces equals clear mind. It was just a table. A plain old kitchen table, covered in unopened mail, coupons from 3 Januaries ago, a broken flashlight, 2 mugs, a mystery spoon, and something sticky I never identified. I hadn't seen the wood beneath all that stuff in years. It had quietly become a dumping ground, somewhere between I'll sort it later and I can't deal with this right now. But one quiet afternoon, I did something different. I cleared it, bit by bit, item by item. No judgment, no perfection. Just action. 30 minutes later, for the first time in I don't know how long, I saw the tabletop. I wiped it down, lit a candle, and you know what? I had dinner there, at the table, like a person. No TV, no plate on my lap, no clutter in my peripheral vision. Just me, my meal, and that little flame flickering like it was cheering me on. And I'll tell you something that might sound silly. It felt like I got a piece of my life back. Because cluttered surfaces aren't just messy, they're loud. They whisper to you every time you walk by, you failed. You're behind. You'll never catch up. But a cleared space? It says, you've got this. It invites peace in. It makes room for joy. And it doesn't have to be the whole house. Pick one surface, the kitchen table, a nightstand, a bathroom counter. Give it 15 minutes and your full attention. Then pause. Breathe. Notice how your brain feels. Because when your eyes can rest, your mind can too. So here's my nudge for you today. What's the one surface in your home that, if it were clean, would make you feel lighter? Tell me in the comments. Name it, claim it. Let's call it your clarity corner. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about creating pockets of peace in a world that can feel too full. And you deserve that peace. One surface, one step, one breath of fresh air in your own home. Step 6. Take pictures before you donate. There I was, sitting cross-legged on the guest room floor, knee-deep in construction paper and glitter glue. My daughter's childhood art projects, sunshine faces, lopsided houses, a giraffe with 3 legs and a crown, every piece a time capsule. Some were stuck together from age. Others still smelled like crayons. I held up one painting to Mommy, age 6, and my chest tightened. Not because I needed it, but because I wasn't ready to let it go. And that's when the idea hit me. I didn't have to choose between tossing or hoarding. I could take pictures. So I did. I set up a little station by the window and photographed every piece, one by one. Then I made a simple photo book online. Nothing fancy, just her childhood in pages I could flip through without digging through bins. Now those memories sit on my shelf, not in a dusty storage tote. And guess what? It still feels like I kept them. But without the clutter, the guilt, or the back pain. This step changed everything for me. Because for many of us, keepsakes are the hardest part of decluttering. They hold our babies, our parents, our past lives, and our hearts. But keeping everything? That's not honoring the memory. It's drowning in it. Photographs give you the best of both worlds, a way to remember without needing to physically hold on. Plus, they're easier to share with family and take up far less space than a Rubbermaid bin in the garage. So here's your gentle invitation. Before you donate, snap a photo. Create a memory you can revisit anytime, without the physical weight. And now I want to know, would you try this with your keepsakes? Or have you already done it? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your before and after stories. Remember, it's not about letting go of love. It's about making space for the life you're living now. Step 7. Get someone to cheer you on. I was avoiding the bookshelf, not because I didn't want to part with anything, but because every spine told a story. That mystery novel I read during chemo, the cookbook with splattered pages from Sunday dinners, a parenting guide I never finished, because real life doesn't come with instructions. I wasn't just sorting books, I was sorting memories, and doing it alone felt too heavy. Then came Linda, my neighbor, my walking buddy, my unexpected lifeline. She showed up with tea and shortbread cookies and said, "I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to sit with you." So we did. We drank tea, cracked open covers, laughed at old bookmarks, and scribbled notes in the margins. Some books went in the keep pile, some in donate. A few got a second glance and a pause. And by the end, I'd let go of 17 books, without a single tear, not because it wasn't emotional, but because I didn't feel alone. There's something powerful about having someone, just one kind, patient soul, who doesn't rush you or push you, but simply sits with you in the mess. Decluttering isn't just a physical act, it's emotional labor. And like any hard thing, it's easier with a friend nearby. So here's your nudge. Find your Linda. A daughter, a neighbor, a grandchild, or even a friend on the phone. Tell them, I don't need help deciding. I just need company while I do it. And if no one comes to mind right away, you've got me. Put on one of these videos while you sort. Imagine I'm there, tea in hand, cheering you on. Because this journey isn't about being perfect. It's about being human and letting someone witness that gently. Have you ever had someone make a hard task easier just by being there? Share your story in the comments. Let's honor those quiet heroes together. And if you are someone's Linda today, thank you. Step 8. Reward yourself for progress. That hall closet had been mocking me for years. You know, the one that's part junk drawer, part linen graveyard, and part maybe I'll need this broken flashlight someday. Every time I opened it, I'd sigh, grab a towel, and slam the door shut before an avalanche of batteries and extension cords hit me in the face. But one day, I decided enough. Armed with a step stool, a trash bag, and a playlist of oldies, I dove in. I sorted, I sneezed, I found 3 umbrellas and a scarf I thought I lost in 1998. 2 hours later, that closet was no longer a shame spiral. It was functional, even proud. And you know what I did after? I bought myself fresh flowers. A small bouquet of sunflowers and daisies from the corner store. I put them in a mason jar on the table, and every time I looked at them, I smiled. Because that little gift wasn't about the flowers. It was about the victory. The decision to show up for myself. The proof that progress, no matter how small, deserves celebration. So often, we clean, purge, sort, and declutter, and then immediately move on to the next task. But where's the joy in that? We deserve to pause. To say, I did something hard and I'm proud. Rewards don't have to be big or expensive. A favorite cookie, a long bath, watching your favorite movie with your feet up, a call to someone you love, just to say, guess what I finally did? So here's your invitation. Pick your reward before you start the task. Make it part of the process. Something to look forward to while you sort through the piles. And now, I want to hear from you. What's your go-to treat after a cleaning win? Big or small, silly or sweet? Drop it in the comments. I could use some new ideas. Let's turn this journey into something that feels good, not just done. Because every cleared drawer, every empty bin, every brave decision deserves a little celebration. Step 9. Replace clutter with purpose. There was a shelf in my living room, just above the heater vent, that had slowly become a mess of stuff I might use someday. Old batteries, candles that never smelled right, a chipped bowl, a dusty stack of free tote bags. You know the kind. For years, I didn't even see it anymore. It had become background noise, silent clutter, until one morning I stopped, really looked at it, and thought, why am I giving this much space to things I don't even love? So I cleared it. All of it. One item at a time, I said goodbye. The shelf was bare for a while, empty, quiet, waiting. And then I filled it with something that made my heart full. A framed photo of my grandkids, laughing in the backyard, sticky with popsicle juice and joy. Next to it, a tiny ceramic bird my sister gave me years ago. Nothing else. Just that. And let me tell you, that little shelf became sacred. Every time I walk past it, I feel something. Not the weight of stuff, but the presence of what really matters. See, decluttering isn't just about taking things away. It's about creating space for meaning. When we clear a surface, a drawer, a shelf, we open a door, and we get to decide what walks through. You can replace clutter with a candle and a quiet moment, with a bowl of fresh fruit, a flower, a quote you love, a memory that makes you feel warm. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be intentional. Because when we fill our homes with things that have purpose, we fill ourselves with peace. So here's your invitation. Pick one shelf. Just one. Clear it. Wipe it down. Take a breath. Then ask yourself, what would bring me joy here? And if you're up for sharing, what would you put there? Drop it in the comments. Let's inspire each other with tiny altars of joy. Because in the end, decluttering isn't about losing, it's about choosing. And today, I hope you choose peace. So, take a deep breath. You don't have to clear it all today. You don't have to get it perfect. Just one small win. then another, and another. Step by step, little by little. That's how you'll get there. I believe in you. We're in this together. Now, I'd love to know, which step are you going to try first? Is it the one about starting small, or maybe rewarding yourself for the progress? Maybe it's time to grab a friend and tackle a cluttered shelf. Whatever it is, I read every single comment, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Let's cheer each other on. If this video gave you a little hope today, if it sparked that feeling of, maybe I can do this, tap that like button. It helps more beautiful souls like you find their way here too. You're not alone in this journey, and your support means everything. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe, because next week, we're diving deep into something a lot of us struggle with: how to emotionally release items you've held onto for decades. Trust me, it's going to be gentle and incredibly powerful. You won't want to miss it. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. One step, one choice, one moment at a time. You've got this.